Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to 197. It can be but my gratitude I earn. And gratitude is the underlying acknowledgement, I guess, that you've learnt the lesson. You know, for me, when a lesson is presented, and usually it's presented in a way where it pushes your buttons and, you get triggered by it and everything, and you may not like the way the lesson's presented, but everything's a lesson in love. And having gone through then the shift in consciousness to take responsibility for what the reflection of that lesson is showing you about yourself, you become grateful to that person for playing that part for you, from traveling all the way from eternity into the dream realm here to play that part for you, because they love you unconditionally. All right, let that soak in. And as you become willing to learn the lesson, you liberate them from the need to play that part for you anymore, because through your forgiveness of yourself for asking them to play that part in the first place, you set your mind free from the cause and effect relationship of thinking that there's anything going on within the relationship at all, and enabling you to look beyond it to the truth of the relationship, which is that Christ brotherhood, or the oneness of reality. And you become very grateful to that, if reality and if truth and if peace and all of those things are actually your goal. And that's where the rubber hits the road, and you get to see how full of shit you are, I guess, where if you're not grateful for for learning the lesson. And in fact, if you're not grateful, you haven't learnt the lesson. Because if God is everything, God is love, what is there not to be grateful for, other than what I judge to be, that can't possibly be God, that's not love, that's not a lesson that God would have me learn. And it's like, why do you think it's called denial? We build these facades for ourselves, these lovely exteriors, and put lipstick on, or do our hair nice, and I mean, I need a haircut, but all of these things, and we give ourselves this, Jesus says you wash the outside of the cup and make it pretty, but you don't clean the inside. The inside's filthy. It's like, well, let me just not look at that inside, But when you're willing to look at the inside, you'll see what a scurrilous dog you really are. And I've seen many scurrilous dogs in my reflection, and they're not nice to confront, I guess, but in the willingness to free my brother and myself from the pain and the suffering of the nature of a relationship that goes nowhere, I'm willing to take on board responsibility, total responsibility for my part in that, which is the manifestation of the whole thing. And offer gratitude to the one who's playing that part, which gives me the opportunity to identify the catalyst and see where healing is needed in my own mind. So anyway, I'll get reading the lesson. Don't want to waffle on too long. Reading from the white edition. If you haven't got a copy of the white edition, you can get online and order it online. And also, I noticed the other day, the sparkly edition, the sparkly version, is now online also. Also in a part A and a part B, or a part 1 and part 2, I think. I can't remember. I did have a look at the cover, but if you type in A Course in Miracles Sparkly Edition or A Course in Miracles White Edition, they're the two editions produced by the Thetford Foundation from the Thetford Edit. And I won't get into that. But either one, I mean, even if you've got the blue book, or even if you've got the old green book, or the 3 old blue books. I saw someone the other day who online was still using the compendium of the 3 books, and text, workbook, and the teacher's manual. They were printed separately originally. But yeah, there's a lot of versions of the book, but the workbook's the same in all of them, and the text is really just a matter of editing and a few punctuational things and grammatical things that have just been changed. So don't get caught up in which is the right version order. Just get whatever one. Just get any one. They're all perfectly useful. I only use this one and print this one out because I was guided to do so through a holy vision and through inner voice. And I emailed my teacher Ted, who has recently left the continuum, left his vessel behind and gone back. And he wrote back to me and said, yes, I saw because I saw an image of the cover just briefly whilst I was sitting at my computer doing my office work, and it just appeared in front of me. And he said, I saw that vision about 10 years ago and didn't do anything with it. So since then, I've taken up the gauntlet of doing something with it. And through inner asking, was guided, and this is the result. So this is the workbook. And one of the pages has fallen out here. I'm hoping that none of the others fall out, because I do like to think that there's a little bit of quality, but I'm pretty sure I might have pulled on the page a bit. But anyway. All right, it can be but my gratitude I earn, from the White Edition. Here is the second step we take to free your mind from the belief in outside force pitted against your own. You make attempts at kindness and forgiveness, yet you turn them to attack again unless you find external gratitude and lavish thanks. Your gifts must be received with honour, lest they be withdrawn. And so you think God's gifts are loans at best, at worst deceptions which would cheat you of defences to ensure that when he strikes he will not fail to kill. How easily are God and guilt confused by those who know not what their thoughts can do. Deny your strength, and weakness must become your salvation. See yourself as bound, and bars become your home. Nor will you leave the prison house or claim your strength until guilt and salvation are not seen as one, and freedom and salvation are perceived as joined with strength beside them, to be sought and claimed and found and fully recognized. The world must thank you when you offer it release from your illusions, yet your thanks belong to you as well, for its release can only mirror yours. Your gratitude is all your gifts require, that they be a lasting offering of a thankful heart released from hell forever. It is this you would undo by taking back your gifts, because they were not honoured. It is you who honour them and give them fitting thanks, for it is you who have received the gifts. It does not matter if another thinks your gifts unworthy. In his mind there is a part that joins with yours in thanking you. It does not matter if your gifts seem lost and ineffectual. They are received where they are given. In your gratitude are they accepted universally and thankfully acknowledged by the heart of God himself. And would you take them back when he has gratefully accepted them? God blesses every gift you give to him, and every gift is given him because it can be given only to yourself. And what belongs to God must be his own. Yet you will never realize his gifts are sure, eternal, changeless, limitless, forever giving out, extending love, and adding to your never-ending joy, while you forgive but to attack again. Withdraw the gifts you give, and you will think that what is given you has been withdrawn. All right? So it's like as soon as I forgive myself for whatever it is that I think seems to be disturbing my peace of mind, the next thing you know, something else will happen the next day and there'll be a grievance, and all of that I thought I had earned and made available to myself as inner peace and all of these sort of attributes of forgiveness the day before, gone, because the veil drops again. Right? So we're learning through our mind training to stay in that forgiveness, to stay in that miracle mindedness, and to stay in that place where we see everything that presented to us as a lesson and an opportunity to again lift that veil higher, or to render it completely ineffectual whatsoever. Okay. But learn to let forgiveness take away the sins you think you see outside yourself, and you can never think the gifts of God are lent but for a little while before he snatches them away again in death. For death will have no meaning for you then. And with the end of this belief is fear forever over. Thank yourself for this, for he is grateful only unto God, and he gives thanks for you unto himself. To everyone who lives will Christ yet come, for everyone must live and breathe in him. His being in his Father is secure because their will is one. Their gratitude to all they have created has no end, for gratitude remains a part of love. Thanks be to you, Holy Son of God, for as you were created, you contain all things within yourself, and you are still as God created you, nor can you dim the light of your perfection. Nor can you dim the light of your perfection. In your heart, the heart of God is laid. He holds you dear because you are himself. All gratitude belongs to you because of what you are. Give thanks as you receive it. Be you free of all ingratitude to anyone who makes yourself complete. And from this self is no one left outside. Give thanks for all the countless channels which extend this self. All that you do is given unto him. All that you think can only be his thoughts, sharing with him the holy thoughts of God. Earn now the gratitude you have denied yourself when you forgot the function God has given you, but never think that he has ever ceased to offer thanks to you. That's good. I like that one. There's a bit in there where is it? I can't find it now, but where he says, the gift of thanks you give is yours, given to you, to give to him, to give to you, and all of that sort of thing. It's like, well, that gets kind of confusing. If you try to break it down, it's like there are certain levels there because you're reading this with the conceptual mind, you're referencing your Christ mind and the relationship that mind has with God, right? God knowing not of the world, and attempting to integrate the principles of this lesson, the principle of gratitude, through the conscious mind that wants to reject everything, which is now being convinced through the ability to get better effects of its choices that it's in its own best interests. So I used to find myself trying to work out like that. That happens repeatedly throughout the course. Jesus will give you those sorts of scenarios. God gives this to you because it's yours that he gave to give to him, and blah, blah, blah. And you can go crazy in your head trying to work out that relationship. But the best thing is to simply take on board the lesson. And this is speaking for myself. Take on board the lesson as you understand it. If you don't understand it, that's perfectly okay, because it's the job of the miracle. It's the job of the experience that the lessons are designed to bring about in your mind, to show you the truth, which is all the learning that you can have, right? All the learning that there is. Trying to work it out conceptually is nothing. You're just going to end up doing a backflip in your own head and, put on the straitjacket. So let Jesus say what he says. If you don't understand it, then you don't understand it. If you do, you do. But remember that literally my thoughts are not understandable because they're based in nothing. So if I'm using my own conceptual thoughts to try and understand these spiritual thoughts, I'm screwed, right? I have to have the holy instance. I have to have those miraculous moments. I have to have those penny drop moments, those ring past knot moments in my learning. And they're not going to occur with every lesson you do, okay? Some of them you'll read 10, 20, 30 lessons, whatever, and the penny won't drop, and then all of a sudden someone will say something to you at the supermarket, something like that, and you'll be like, oh, I get it, and that'll be your learning moment. That'll be that experiential where you just recognize the shift, or that little conscious tweak in your own mind actually fits in there. That piece of the jigsaw puzzle fits there or whatever, and all of a sudden, bang, boom, shanker, you got it. All right? That's kind of how this works. Like, I had one yesterday, actually. It was really cool. Oh, no, it was in my last Zoom, it was in my last live on the beach that I did. And if you're interested to go back and watch it, I'm pretty sure it's on my Facebook page. I had an out of sequence interval happen during that recording, or during the making of that live thing, where I was talking about something, and I noticed that Ted, this is like the day before he passed, I noticed that Ted was watching. It comes up, it tells you on your phone, you know, so-and-so's watching, somebody has joined the conversation, whatever. I can't remember exactly what it says, but anyway, Ted was there. And I was in the middle of something. I was going to say g'day, but I was in the middle of something and didn't. And I found that, and other people coming up, you know, and things like that, but I found that I was suddenly talking about laying aside the body. And I didn't recognize till later that it's not that I didn't have an intention talking about that, but it's like sometimes in this you'll be talking to people and you'll step back after and you'll say, what did I just say? and other people will be staring at you in astonishment. It's like, where did that come from? You know, and think, it's like, there's just something that happens in this. It's quite bizarre. It's like the Holy Spirit uses you to express or something, and it's like all of a sudden the Dave brain or Dave mind gets taken out. Holy Spirit has a quick chat, Dave mind back in, you know, like whatever. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like Jesus talks about them as out of sequence time intervals, I think. And anyway, so I had this one with Ted, or Ted was watching and talking about laying aside the body. And then the next day he laid aside the body. So it was quite funny. But I was going to go back and watch that. I haven't had a chance to do it yet. But anyway, so it can be but my gratitude I earn. And then tomorrow we'll do 198. Only my condemnation injures me, because no matter what's going on out there, it's me. Okay? I can't condemn. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. I'll do that tomorrow. Little teaser. All right, I love you. Peace.